And what's going on, everybody? Sorry for the little mix-up. I had to take care of something. Luckily, I got to the end of the tight ends feature, so might as well split it into two videos instead of putting them together. So if you need the tight end video, I'll do my best to make sure you get to see that. Link will be in the description. But I'm back with the Week 15 top picks at defense. Let's get right into it because I want to make sure I have an hour or two from here to upload what I feel are the best wide receiver plays. Like I said in the tight end video, the wide receiver news is coming out. Like I said, Marvin Harrison out. T. Higgins out, excuse me. Had to take a sip of water there. T. Higgins is also out, so the news is coming in. But let's get right into these defenses. And once again, I think it's a fun week to pay up, at least for the top three. Seattle at home, Jacksonville at home, Philly at home. Strong defenses going against weak teams or battered teams. Seattle is just a bad matchup for most people, especially at home. All are viable for their price. Seattle, I think they're getting that third backup. I don't think Phillip Rivers has been announced to start yet, but he is actually trending to start. Jacksonville actually looks slightly better because they're getting the third string. I forgot the kid's name actually, but like I said, Jacksonville's defense is a defense that I have been shitting on, or whatever, or I've just been saying they're overrated. It's not a defense that I get to a lot, but against a Jet team who's dealing with injuries at the quarterback position, now down to their third string. Mason Taylor just got ruled out today, so. And like I said, I think the defense as a whole slightly overrated, but they're still playing well. Front seven should be able to focus on Breece Hall and just make the third string QB do all the work. So them at home has a good game script, and then I think an angry, frustrated Philly team should be able to take it out on Las Vegas. San Francisco is a good pick, not a great pick. Once again, that's still a team that has a lot of injuries. So the only thing that's nice about it is that instead of 5,000, they're 47. San Francisco probably would have been a better play at like 43, 4,400, maybe even 4,500. But once again, once FanDuel sees the slate, they see what defense is on. They see what defense is on the board and see what teams they're playing. Yeah, San Francisco is definitely going to be above 4,500 against one of the worst teams in the league. That Denver Green Bay game is going to be something. I think both defenses are going to really push and nickel and dime both offenses in that game. So Denver at 4,500 should be viable. Houston, I think, is probably the second or third best play against Arizona at 4,400. I'll probably get to them more than the pay-ups. Like I said, these three right here all together, in a way, these three all together might almost look as good, maybe even better than the top three. Or top three or fourth, if that's the case. Kansas City and Los Angeles always play each other tough. What's weird is there's a lot of good defensive options. You got Cleveland, might have had that minor setback. Here's the pressure of Myles Garrett trying to chase that record. Him trying to chase Caleb Williams and that Cleveland defense trying to bounce back after last week. That's a good option right there. As we keep going here, like I said, against a struggling Chiefs team, Los Angeles is viable against. It may be on the road, but Los Angeles is still a good defense that's viable on the road. Any Harbaugh-led team is going to be, strong-nosed and ready to basically probably one of the most meaningful games maybe in this possible decade, because a lot of people are going to overreact on this, but for the dominance that they had and the possibility that just instead of like getting into the playoffs and losing or going to the Super Bowl and losing, a lot of people will probably overstate that this game right here could possibly end the dynasty of the Chiefs. There's bits of talk about, Andy Reid's job being on the risk and all that other stuff. So there's a lot going in there. I think Harbaugh is going to get that defense hyped and play it as, because let's be real, if Harbaugh can get that defense ready and put a stranglehold on the Chiefs and pretty much choke the life out of their playoff hopes, Harbaugh would love to do it. He would love to do it at home, but I think somebody of Harbaugh's mental stature would love to do this in Kansas City. Carolina is an option. Like I said, New Orleans isn't a juggernaut, but I do like New Orleans in this case. I will not be touching Washington or Indy at all. I will not be touching Baltimore at all. And also no interest in Detroit and the Rams. No interest in the Giants, nor any New York team. Now here's a weird thing. If Baltimore still stinks or is still gonna have some mistakes, I think Cincinnati's a good pay down. It sounds weird, but on the road, if the Raiders still have a bumbling and non-functioning offense in Philly, that is a very contrarian pay down. But the furthest I plan on paying down, without a doubt, is New Orleans at home. You already know I've been doing this. I don't have to go into their game log or anything. If you've been watching this episode for the past 14 weeks, you know, and I've guided you to, hey, they don't have a high point upside, but at home, they're viable to give you 8 to 12, no lower than 5 at home. The defense does perform better at home than on the road. I think all year, as bad as the Saints are, the Saints defense fantasy-wise only has 2 negatives all year and maybe 1-0. After that, they're scoring anywhere from 3 to 12 for the rest of the year. And I think the most the Saints have ever been all year is maybe 35, maybe 36. That's probably too high, maybe 34. So Saints is always a reliable pay down. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to upload these 2 videos back to back. Like I said, I was trying to have everything in one video, but had a little glitch right there. So, but like I said, luckily I got the glitch at the end of my tight end selection. So both videos will be up back to back. Thank you very much for tuning in. Wide receivers, from the time I'm hitting stop on this, wide receivers possibly in the next 2, maybe 3 hours. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck week 15. This is the boy, Grade A Fantasy. I'm signing off.